Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing back a design I originally did back in 2024 with my exclusives group just in time for summer. We're going to start by spray painting our cup with this Rust-Oleum Rustic Pink. And once our paint's dry, I'm going to remove a fine line of it down from the bottom rim. This is where our final coats of epoxy will adhere to create the final seal for our tumbler. Normally I'd tape this off, but it's really hard to tape it off at the bottom there for this type of cup, so I'm just removing the paint like you see here. Once that's all finished, we're going to do what I call a quick glitter technique. I'm going to use my Flynn Sisters Fast Cure, and I'm mixing up about 30 milliliters. You may need more or less based on the size of tumbler that you're working with. I'm going to pour in part B first and then part A over that, and then we're going to stir until our epoxy is totally clear and it's just starting to warm up a bit in my hand. It's important that you mix this epoxy thoroughly so we don't run into any snags. Once I'm sure it's fully mixed, I'm going to add in some of this glitter from Peachy Olive Glitters. This color is called Glow Stick. I will link it down below in the description box. And we want to add just enough to cover the top of our mixing cup there. You'll see I'm not adding too much, but also not too little. And once we mix, we can check the saturation by lifting our mixing tool out of the cup and seeing how much glitter we have on it. If it looks full enough to you, you can quit adding glitter. If it looks too sparse, you can add more. Once that's fully mixed, we've got a really short period of time to get it onto our cup because this is a fast setting epoxy. Your epoxy dry times may vary based on the type and brand that you're using. I'm going to spread this on like I normally would, only this time I'm going to add just a little bit more. We don't want any sparse spots. We want everything to look coated evenly. So if you see some kind of bare spots where you need more glitter, just add a little bit more of that epoxy mixture. I've mixed 30 milliliters and I'm probably going to use almost all of it, which is a pretty thick coat than what you're probably used to for a first coat on your cup. If you find that your glitter looks kind of streaky or bald in some spots, we may need to add a little bit more in that area. Maybe we didn't get a thick enough coat, or we're spreading it on too thin, or we might have added too much glitter that it changed the texture of our epoxy, and that's not what we want. So it's really important to kind of strike the right balance to get the desired results with this technique. And I'm going to let this dry for about 4 hours before we move on to the next step. Now that my quick glitter coat is fully dry, I'm ready to start mapping out the template for our design. Using a sewing ruler, I'm going to wrap that around the top of my tumbler and get the exact measurement of the top. And I'm going to divide that in half. In this case, I'm going to mark the 9-inch line, and then I'm going to go to the opposite end and mark the half point, which is 4.5 inches. I'm using a silver Sharpie to make my points because it's really easy to remove with just some rubbing alcohol. Next, I'm going to try and hold my sewing ruler as straight as I can from that front point and mark about 1.5 inches up from the bottom. I'm going to flip my cup around, line my ruler up at the back point that we created, and I'm going to make a point at the 1.5 inch mark. After we've done that, we're going to use these 2 points that we just created to line up our thin masking tape. I'm using thin masking tape because I want this design to have a fully rounded separation line. So starting at the bottom, I'm going to try my best to create kind of a curved line to start. And then I'm going to wrap the tape around the cup to the back line that we created earlier. I'm going to mark that off right below that back point and then bring it back again to the front so that my whole divider line is fully curved and I don't have any totally straight lines, if that makes sense. It's a little tricky to get this fully even. You don't want it to look crooked, so just take your time. If you have to reposition that tape, it's fine. We also want to press this tape line down firmly because this will be the barrier between our alcohol inks and the remainder of our cup. At this time, I'm also going to remove our Sharpie lines with some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel. Next, I'm going to mask off the remainder of my cup just to be safe. Bottom portion of our design is going to be colored with some alcohol inks in a rainbow tie-dye technique. I'm going to squirt my pink orange, yellow, and teal color on a paper plate. And using one paintbrush per color, I'm just going to dab on some ink here and there, starting with the pink color first. It's important to watch how much ink we're picking up with our brush so that we don't get too many drips. We don't want too little of saturation to where we'll have brush strokes, but we also don't want to have too much to where it's going to be dripping everywhere and creating mess. It's helpful to have some paper towels next to you so that you can blot your brush before you start dabbing onto the cup so you can see the saturation of color that you have and also to remove any excess. I've also got a clean cup of 91% rubbing alcohol, and this is what I'll clean my brushes in if I need it, and I'll also use it to dip into if I need to have some extra juice to blend between colors. I'm not putting any color next to another that would muddle up and look dark. So for example, I'm putting the yellow next to the orange, and then I will put the teal color next to the yellow, but I'll make sure to have some sort of barrier between the orange and the teal, because if we mix the orange and the teal, it's going to turn brown. So if I find my teal edging up next to an orange section, I will blot just a little bit of the pink or the yellow, because we do like the colors that blend together with those two colors, just not the orange, if you get my drift. So if we go along like this, we're going to eventually create some beautiful rainbows. And I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way around the cup. If I find that my lines are a little harsh or I need some more blending, I'll blot off the excess ink from my brush and dip it into a little rubbing alcohol and dab that in between the affected areas. I'm also paying very close attention to the bottom of my tumbler where we have that exposed stainless steel. I didn't tape this off because it would be really hard to create a really crisp line around that bottom rim. So if any of my inks kind of travel into that area, I'll just clean it off really quick with some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel. You'll see as our rainbow pattern progresses that we're getting some beautiful purple color between the teal and the pink, and the oranges just blend really well. Everything looks so pretty. Then we can go ahead and take off our masking even before the inks are dry. You want to take that off right away because we need to double check to see if there's any excess ink where it shouldn't be. Again, removing that with just some 91% rubbing alcohol and paper towel. I'm going to let this sit to dry overnight, and I am not going to seal my inks. I never do. We just need to make sure they're fully dry before we do anything more to them. Now I'm going to add our decal. I've got this really cute Hot Girl Summer decal. I don't remember where I got this. I think I made it. I will research that and put the details in the description box if you're interested. But I just cut this with some regular black vinyl and my Cricut. And I'm going to apply this like I normally would using the hinge method. And then I cut some black lines, again using just regular black vinyl and my Cricut. And the shapes feature, I used a rectangle shaped at 11.5 inches by 0.10 inches for the dimensions there. I'm going to wrap that along the boundary line of our ink and our glitter sections just to clean everything up a bit. Then I've got some leopard print that, again, just cut with my Cricut and some black vinyl, and I'm going to place these by hand. I don't have a coat of epoxy over the inks yet. If you aren't confident in doing this without epoxy over it first, just go ahead and put a coat over so you don't ruin your inks if you're worried about that. After applying my leopard spots, I'm going to add some fun detail with a black Posca acrylic marker. I like these fine point Poscas because they're perfect to get these lines really cool. I think it's a neat texture to add. I did add some along the back as well. And then I let all that dry again, just for a little bit of time. I let it rest, and then we're going to apply what will be our final coats of epoxy. For this first coat over the decals and ink, I considered this a building layer, so I'm using my Flynn Sisters Fast Cure for this. About 15 milliliters or so I think I used, and we're going to let this dry for about 4 hours before we move on to the next step. Once it was fully dry, I was ready to start on my sanding routine. We're going to sand around the top rim to expose a fine line of stainless steel. This fine line of stainless steel is where our final coats of epoxy will adhere to create the final seal for our tumbler on the outer rim rather than the very top rim where it's more vulnerable. I'm using a 60 grit sanding block to do this, and once I'm done with my sanding, I'm going to clean this up with some rubbing alcohol and paper towel. I'm going to hit this also with a tack cloth to remove any excess debris, and now I'm ready to apply my final coats of epoxy. I'm using my Flynn Sisters Artist Cure. I've mixed 30 milliliters here, but I'm probably going to use about half of that. And you'll notice again, I've not taped off the bottom rim of this at all. Anytime I get any excess epoxy or alcohol ink down there, I just wipe it off with a rubbing alcohol and paper towel, and it keeps it all nice and clean. You'll get to see the very bottom, how it finished out at the end of this video. I just used the remainder of my epoxy to make some cute little magnets. Here you could see the finished product of those. I just mixed in a little glitter, waited for them to dry, and then I domed the back with some UV resin and also used UV resin to apply the magnet. I've got some magnet videos on my YouTube channel. I will link them in the description box if you're interested, but just a fun idea to use your excess resin with. After I got my epoxy spread on there, I hit it with my torch to pop any bubbles and let this dry for about 12 hours before we were done. It only has to turn though for about 4 hours for this epoxy, and your dry times may vary based on the type and brand of epoxy you're using. Now we're totally done. I absolutely loved how this turned out. I want to show you guys a close-up of that bottom rim. The epoxy comes down just below the paint and glitter line to adhere to that line of stainless steel that we exposed when we removed some of the paint earlier. That's to create that seal that we were talking about. I just want to give you guys a close-up of how that turned out. But this is it. I don't have the lid for this cup. I couldn't find it. I'm sure I have one around somewhere, but whatever. Let me know what you guys thought about the video in the comments. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I upload videos when I can. Sorry I've been super busy at the shop lately. But I hope you guys like this one, and I hope you have a great summer. I will see you again soon. If you love this video, you could check out our last video here. Also be sure to find us on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and of course subscribe for all our new videos that come out every Wednesday and Saturday. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.